Well, huh?
We didn't just stop at 400, did we? Kept chugging along. Now we're sitting at 412, which is very comfortable.
It is. Don't say that though. It's no way for it to not be comfortable, but I just don't feel comfortable like pointing it out. I just don't. Almost. What I don't mind pointing out is that we've had 3 videos in a row with 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Those DLC videos.
That second one had no reason to get any views, that's the thing.
I think it's just how short it is, maybe. It's just like, why wouldn't I look at this?
Maybe. Maybe.
It's probably the same logic for the Wombo cut. Eventually people oh yeah,
Wombo cut. Yes. I didn't share it. I was supposed to ask you about the thumbnail though. So there's 2 versions of it.
I would prefer colour.
I think it's probably better.
Especially since the actual tier list is all white.
Yeah, that's the main problem with it though, for me. But I tried to correct it and I realised that it wasn't actually centred. Actually, it's having the tier list there that makes it look centred. And it was really awkward to try and figure out how to centre it afterwards. But I really liked the black and white one. But yeah, change. But making that thumbnail was actually that's fun. Well, it wasn't like I don't think it was actually difficult.
Did you not just like copy paste your last one?
Well, they're not. Oh. Well, no, that wouldn't have quite worked.
No.
Don't ask why. I don't really know. I'll be honest.
Lock and load, lad.
Honesty is the best policy.
Policy is the best policy.
Speaking
Speaking of what didn't do
in
well,
this cave.
even though it's still doing
Find and
solidly,
repair the lost
they've
mules,
given
get
a
the drop
thing.
pod operations,
It
and set a base.
Yeah, it could just be.
It just doesn't make any
Try
sense.
not to
'Cause
mess
it's
it up
like
like your
what?
full
No, so you can't really like.
Your own fault for being
You can't really be like, oh, why did this do well and this did so well? None of it really quite makes sense. The only thing that makes sense with doing well is the roadmap,
Molly, come here. Make
and that's been
another
consistent, even though there's technically only been 2 like videos, but still, there's no reason why they shouldn't do well because that's news. That's news that everyone's going to want to hear pretty much. You come across it and it's found deep rock. So there's just no. That's the only thing that could be reasonably predicted. Everything else is just an anomaly.
Deep Rock seriously needs to
I have to
invest
assume
in
that the
some
DLC
better
is.
equipment.
You know, I can see why it would have done well, but might have been because of the roadmap as well. But then the smaller one, I have no fucking idea. I didn't even share it. Much like I didn't share the Wombo cut. I don't know if you did, the Discord.
Yeah, I did. Why wouldn't you share it?
Because it's just a big, ugly video.
It's a big, beautiful video.
Tier list, big, massive 10-hour tier list video. I don't know if the Reddit is particularly receptive to that at the moment.
They're not receptive to anything. It's
Sir Pounce the French. It's fucking like I see these people, these like musketeers. They are everywhere, and even if they're just doing the basics, just like telling people like something they don't know about the game, they still manage to come across as
Move your
snarky.
tin ass over here and hurry, please.
It's really cool. It's not. I don't feel like they're even.
Recharging.
I don't know. They're not. They're not good. They're not doing any good. But it almost feels like they can't be trying to be. Just annoying. That's not everyone. But there are always people who are very helpful. Like, when someone just doesn't know something, I don't think we ever get met with what I would say to them. Which is why don't you know what I know, idiot? That's not what I want to say. Which I don't, obviously, because that's easy.
I think that is the thing. I mean,
But I
there's plenty
can't
of
help
people
feeling
that
that
think
way.
that, but they know damn well that they wouldn't be able to message it
You shouldn't.
completely. Yeah, obviously.
It's not fair. Well, some things do come across. Exceptionally, it's just you don't like, know anything about the game. Also, it looks like there's no frame rate issues.
What?
Remember
Oh, right.
previous Mondays?
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense. Might be. I had a theory about that, and I feel like every time that I've done this, the previous few Mondays, I feel like I've had my laptop unplugged and in power saving mode because it's unplugged. I have a theory that that might have something to do with it. Although I feel like I've had it unplugged other times while streaming and it hasn't affected it. So, much like the wild fluctuation in views to videos, it's probably not worth trying to pin down to a specific reason.
Alright.
Nothing fucking makes sense.
Chaos. Yeah.
Chaos. Chaos.
Chaos Gabriels.
Mayhem. Michael Bay.
Die, worthless
Michael
crystal.
Bayhem. The Michael Bay was in this.
Booyah!
Holy shit.
Support fire, please!
Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, I let the Chris grip in me now a little bit.
Fucking what? That is no universe was
Well,
Chris Griffin.
Back of my head. Oh yeah!
I really can't use this.
I guess.
Yeah.
It does say those words.
It's like it couldn't be anyone else, I guess. I
Yeah.
wouldn't really have said.
But
I don't,
it's like
it's not
saying,
really good
it's like
Quagmire
saying
impression.
doll.
Ollie!
What?
It's like saying doll, so that's my Homer impression. Like, yeah,
Oh,
he didn't sound
doll.
anything
Doll.
like him.
No, but
But
well,
he
you
did
can do
say
better
what
than
he
that.
says.
No. Oh shit, that was a bit too high pitched actually. Say some gangsters, missing your flag. I'll do that. Aurora Borealis?
And you have to smoke like 30 years to do it.
Say some gangsters, missing your flag. Hey. My nan claimed that she saw the Northern Lights.
That's all you got, you slippery shit!
Kidding?
Located entirely.
This is what I was thinking. I kept like there was my family was they were just talking about how this happened. My nan wasn't there. They just said, "Oh, my dad was like, oh, my mum said he saw the Northern Lights or something." I kept trying to start the bit, but no one knew what I was doing. It's like Aurora Borealis. This time of year, in this part of the country.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a bit. It is a bit.
It is a bit.
I don't even think.
Oh, come on, man. What? What's possible?
Aurora Borealis.
Like this time of year, in this part of the country. In this country.
Yeah, localized highly in wherever she saw it.
In Canterbury.
Thank
Yeah.
you!
Even less. Like,
Use
I thought she would at least live up more.
my nan.
And also, if she would sing,
Detonation.
there's a lot of other people have seen it, and it definitely would have been.
No. She's like this. She's like that's stupid.
Left warden is
Like a very like,
heretical godly.
a bit like. I guess she's a bit like. I don't know what maybe. Fuck this. Maybe my dad. You know, intelligent, but not very clever.
Dumb as a brick, then.
I'm
Take that.
no,
Dumb
she's
as a
definitely
doorstop.
dumb as a dead dodo dingbat doo-doo head idiot.
Damn.
Dead as a damn dog dead in a ditch. I realised I haven't actually turned the game volume down, so it's ridiculously loud, probably completely drowning us out.
Hooray.
Hooray! Horatio!
Horatio?
I think more people should be called Horatio,
I think there's enough people called Horatio.
which is
Couple.
and like a negligible amount.
Yeah. I think Horatio needs to be kept at like a
But you can
good...
shorten it. Like it's like they've got the best shortened version of a name possible.
To what ratio?
Ratio. Yeah.
That's what it is. You have to keep Horatio
I
to a
think
good ratio.
It can't be where Horace comes from, right? Because that's like only one letter shorter. Or
Horace.
yeah, it's one letter shorter.
And
I
that's
thought
where
it might have been
Boris came from.
Boris. No, I
It
think
just
no.
we just anglicised Horace.
No. I think Boris comes from Boratio
Borsellino.
or Borsellini, Porcini, Fettuccine, Linguini. Bleh. Pardon. The pardon. I beg for the pardon.
Then beg harder.
Please, I need the pardon. Help me. Pardon me. Did you know that?
No.
No, you probably did know this. That plasma splash on the EPC is completely useless.
Yeah.
Because you might not have known this. Actually, I think you might have known this as well. But Burning Nightmare even adds like a small, like, radius of heat around every shot.
No, I didn't know that.
And it's enough to set fire to a swarmer. So you can actually, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Actually. That upgrade is kind of, there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with both of them. One of them's too weak. One of them's well, I don't like saying too strong because it implies that it should be nerfed, and I don't believe in that.
It was just a bit of a weird shout, because I can only assume it's because, you know, Fine Nightmare wasn't exactly the most picked thing in
It
the
was,
world.
and it was.
right?
I think it was only picked for Cryo anyway because they gave it like a freeze bonus, which I assume they like a damage against frozen enemies bonus, which I assume they removed because it temp shocks now, and they sort of just turned it into that being that part of it now, because they were both used for Cryo really. Only. I mean, not only, but. I think I can see why they did it. It only becomes more confusing when you consider the existence of Plasma Splash
Yeah.
and the introduction of that. That's
It's
the
just
thing that makes
because
it
they don't
confusing.
often... I mean, we said this a lot of times, obviously, but they don't often bother to re-add stuff like that. Like, they normally just, like, Like they just got like with the sludge bomb, right? They added the corrosion to the gun, and then that was it.
Well, I think
They
that was
didn't.
that. Well, I guess that is actually. No, I guess that's not really different. It is different in that, you know, one of them being added to the base gun, the other is two upgrades being folded into each other. But it's still the same scenario in leaving an upgrade slot unfilled. I think it is the same situation realistically. But I mean, the sludge pump one was actually obviously very good, and I don't know what you would like replace it with though. I think at the same time, right? If I was in charge, I would have just had the replacement be something extraordinarily simple, which I would have just had it be even better armor breaking. I would have kept the upgrade. I think.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of weird. But that's what I would have done. And, you know, we'd all be better off if they just did what I say.
Obviously.
Because in my experience beats everything. And I have more experience than any. SNIS actually reached level 1000 recently. Good for him. Or on SNIS.
Right.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
He,
I'm very close to 500.
He's got pretty stupid opinions.
SNIS is just aesthetic.
Well, you say that, but
about it.
his fashion sense isn't great either. Ultimately, no, he makes very good videos, but he's usually not very opinionated. The only time he is was when he was sort of, just sort of giving a very, I probably arbitrary, realistically, rating on all the new weapons. When he did the primaries, this is just his video about season 1. He did it sort of like I think like star rating or something, I think. And I think he gave the smart rifle 5, which is already concerning. And I think he gave the Hurricane 5 as well, or 4. And I think he gave the Sludge Pump 4. I know he gave the Drac 3 though, and he might have given both the Drac and the Sludge Pump 3. It just becomes very concerning when you think someone is capable of such effective interpretation. I think I've come around to those things. Hurricane's been a real treat recently. It's not bad at all.
Hate to wait for John.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
What was that? Okay. What is that? What is that supposed to be? Oh, it's just a hole in the floor. But because the hole wasn't there before, I guess it's just about out of range of my terrain scanner. So there's just this little dip in the floor, but it makes it like there's just a hole into the void. I assume that was a geyser that went off them. I don't know how. But exploded.
Joe, get to work. I wanna punch the guy in R&D who
I don't know why no one's tuning in. Do they not know the frame rate's fixed, guys?
I think it's
They're just all American,
yeah.
aren't they? Just all every single
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of them is American. Why is everyone American? I hate America. They're not here. They can't hear me say that. Honestly, I'm surprised that Monkey isn't like fucking, I don't know, playing Fallout 76 right now.
What is he doing?
Doing nothing. Probably asleep.
So he's probably snoozing.
He said that he doesn't sleep. He said he. No. That's not how it would go. But
Yeah.
That's not very good impression.
You're lucky you ain't watching it right now. He would tear your face up.
Yeah, he's a monkey. They do that.
They do that. They do tend to
They're
do
known
that.
for that. They are known for the ripping of face.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the whole
Monkeys.
monkeys thing.
The monkeys thing.
Yeah, the monkey love.
Monkey love. Monkey love.
Monkey love.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Try the bananas, darling.
Try the bananas, darling. They're divine.
The divine. Mm.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
I think that's better.
Swarm on intercept course. Get ready to protect.
Try the bananas, darling. They're divine. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
That's a bit too much.
Just the two of us.
Yeah.
You and I.
Oh my god, it's awful.
Thank you.
Archimedes, your master beckons.
That's like whenever you see like shit singers in like
I don't.
like yeah, but like on holidays we used to watch like X Factor or
On
Friends with
holiday.
Talent. Yeah, when everyone's like settled down, it's night time. That's the only thing on.
Because they already
And
what
yeah,
is it? It's like a caravan.
Yeah,
Television.
caravan.
Or
rented
caravan
house.
site television, primarily.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of broadcast programming that they
Not that we had much
have.
else at home.
No,
But yeah,
I'll do the point.
we wouldn't watch it. But yeah, so we'd watch it, and you know, there's always like bad singers, right? God forbid. But they like taking the piss. Especially, it's like the first
I think
episode,
people take
right?
the piss
It's normally,
is fine. I don't like watching bad singers though. I just feel bad for them.
well, very often. Actually, this doesn't occur that often in England, but I think actually that's probably a lie. But I think Americans, they're a lot more bits and glamour, but not glitz. Like they'll fucking they don't give a shit if you like publicly tear someone to pieces, right? So they're a lot more willing to show a shit sick that thinks they're all that getting absolutely fucking destroyed.
They're a lot less polite.
But then again, I think
but
the
they're
one
also
I'm
a lot
thinking
more taboo about swearing.
yeah.
Basically, America sucks.
But then again, I think our sucky singers that think they're all that. They're like the hosts are a lot more like, you know, like, oh, that was kind of bad. But you know, you could. I'm glad you tried. But then the trashy person starts swearing and shouting and throwing shit. And they do make a spectacle of themselves really at that point.
The contestant,
Point is,
like Jeremy Kyle, well, they're on Jeremy Kyle throwing a fit,
pretty much,
and the
yeah.
security Steve has to come in and does him with his pinky. He said,
Yeah, just karate chops him in the back of the neck, and they go night night.
they crumble.
Yeah, but yeah, they always do that. they just make their voices go to different levels a lot, because that's like kind of what like good singers can do, right?
Yeah, but they
Like,
make it sound like they don't make it sound like they're trying to do that.
Yeah, but it's just that they have like such a mastery of their voice that they can like easily hit the right notes constantly, and therefore they can really fuck around with the notes.
Yeah, they're doing it because they actually can use their voice more like an instrument, where they're not just singing. They can just create a melody with their voice, which a lot of people can't do. A lot of losers.
Oh no!
A lot of people who aren't good at singing.
Put it nicely, but also not really.
I wonder if anyone ever did something like where they You know what? I wish. No, I don't actually.
I don't know where this is going.
I just like the idea of someone going on X Factor, right? And they're like disguised. I like the idea of Theo going on X Factor, and he's like in a really shitty disguise. No, he needs to look completely different. And then
I would like
just,
to see
wins.
Dio on the X Factor, because I imagine that would be very interesting.
I think it would be interesting because they would just have like a pile of dirt, like a decomposed body in it.
Yeah, and it would be like, it would be very strange.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. I'm interested. I wonder what you would make of music today.
Would he really care? Was he that type that was like, oh, the music genre as a whole, or was he more just, I only really care about what I'm doing?
I don't think it was really about like the type of music, but he was very focused on sort of principles, and that he doesn't like it when people aren't making music because of like they like music, He would
So
disapprove of
he didn't like people that were just doing it for like the money.
He would disapprove of those people, and that is a lot of people. But it wouldn't be necessarily because of the type of music.
Yeah.
Which is very fair.
I would
Although,
argue
I mean,
that a lot
I
of
don't.
music nowadays is that, right?
Yeah, and it's also bad.
Yeah. Well, that's of course. If you don't care about the music you make, then of course it's going to be shitty, right? I know how that works.
Yeah, you think if you're in it for the, I don't know. Music seems too high effort to be in it for the money, though. Because there at least have enough money and like production value to not be like listenable. They're still like listenable.
That's the key. It's like this is the issue, right? Is that music has to be like that nowadays? Because right, with movies can get away with being shitter because once you've watched it, kind of you've really given them the money. But music doesn't really make that much money if it doesn't get listened to a lot.
Gaming.
That is a requirement. But instead of making a music good, therefore making people listen to it a lot, they just make it something that people would want to listen to a lot or don't really have a choice to, and that therefore they just play to the charts, play what's what current, same kind of like style, all that jazz.
Jazz.
Not actually like, I wish it was jazz. That would be really fucking sick. If at any point in time, like, what becomes hip isn't this pop that it has been for like fucking ever, probably since Michael Jackson, I imagine, but it's like actually like, yeah, like jazz or like fucking classical or some shit like that just takes over. And what like the music business does with that information, like, will they actually then kind of try and like monopolize on that and fucking hire a bunch of new quotation marks talent?
Well, that's the problem. I
suddenly,
genuinely feel like humanity is just completely moving away from wanting to be good at anything. And that's why instruments are getting left behind. And all of those very natural
Humanity-
instrument-focused genres are going to they're going to disappear. And we're going to probably try and make AI-generated music soon, or some bollocks. It's going to be terrible.
Humanity is rapidly running away from humanity.
Woo!
Like as quickly as they can, we are turning all of our like things into like not that. Like our people that are good at singing are not people anymore. They're musicians, and the musicians are just there to make money, and that's it, right? Like you don't care about the musician as people anymore. At least not in a healthy way, right? The people that care about them as people fucking stalk them.
Yeah, this is the problem, because there is actually a lot of talent, but it literally just isn't popular.
No, and if it's not popular, then it's never going to be pushed in front of you. So unless you actively seek it out, you will never find it. And most people don't need to actively seek it out, since what's the point, right?
I just don't understand the type of most music, though. Just the stuff that's popular. This is so lame.
You would say that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely. Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds like. I don't know what the word is, because I don't think it's narcissistic. It's definitely self-centered, but I don't know what the specific word is. I just. The music I listen to is just so much cooler than everything else that's popular. Just like so much more interesting. I just feel like that case.
Damn players could need an upgrade.
Yeah, it's just because I don't know. People don't really want cool music, or it's just that. I don't, well, it's not because it's not even like it's not people don't want, because people is such a useless term, isn't it?
Good. So hold on. I think there's a chance that music has turned to just as much of like a convenience thing as anything else. As in, it's just the easiest thing to listen to is what's popular.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just like radio.
It's the thing that just gets onto their radar first. It's like they don't have to even make the choice about what to listen to, because what's popular is what they can listen to. It's already chosen for them.
Yeah, and what's popular is like good enough.
Yeah, because they don't have to seek it out.
Like it's repetitive, it's catchy, it's always those things.
It is also kind of scientifically engineered to be like, I don't know, yeah, catchy.
Like, that's the thing. Like there was the thing.
Like very basic music theory works.
Yeah, this might sound a little bit bad, but there was a thing in Rick and Morty, and it was like they're in a simulation, casual sci-fi stuff. I'm really intelligent, so I understood it. But he had like a thing where like, yeah, obviously, there was a thing where the dad, Jerry, he was in the simulation like accidentally, and they like really turned down like the effort of the simulation, and basically on the radio it had human music, and it was literally just and it was like that was like literally it, and it was just like two notes. And obviously the joke was that he's an idiot and that he didn't even notice that it wasn't a simulation, but it is also the fact that like it really isn't hard. like human music is literally, it's just like have a repetitive note, a couple notes, and it will basically do. And like most people will just kind of listen to it without thinking. And it's the same thing with like AI. I think multiple AI has created music at this point.
Very impressive. Let's see the hands.
Multiple AIs created multiple music. Yeah, but they would just like copy. It's a bit like the art AI, but a lot easier, I think. Well, at this point, it's probably about equal. They did it first. But yeah, they just like, okay, study all of Mozart, and they did it in like, a couple of seconds. And then create something that, he could create. And then boom shakalaka, it would output something that Mozart would make. And yeah, it's pretty...
I don't know, man.
I don't know, it's just that easy to just kind of pick humanity's music bar.
Yeah. Luck. Getting AI to make a theme tune. Barrel Vision theme composed by Chat Bot.
I watched a video of that fella that's like always in everyone's recommended, like he's like mastered the fucking algorithms or some shit. I think it was like Tom Scott, some shit like that.
Scott, yeah, Tom Scott's like I don't know what he is, a YouTube wizard or something.
Yeah, he's like a Vsauce that uploads actually regularly.
He's also doesn't just talk. He like goes to places.
Yeah, in this
Shows
video I
people
watched, he was
things.
literally like sitting on a fucking beach, in like some random fucking country, I think. And it was basically he was talking about AI, obviously, because AI. And he's basically saying that like most technology kind of like it has like a meter bar thing to it, like it exists, like it comes into existence, and it like it's people are figuring it out, getting certain a surface level acquisition to it. People that aren't that talented have yet to get onto it, or have just got onto it, and it's like growing, but not really at all anyway. And then like development occurs, companies get involved, talented people get involved, shit starts going down, and then there's like a massive fucking explosion in like its growth and how good it is. And basically he's saying that like we have no idea how far along we are on that like spectrum. Like AI right now is already kind of good enough to be a tool, right? Like it's already like I think you have a thing, right, Harry, that you have a like an account on Instagram that's just AI art, and don't you?
Do I?
And you quite like it. Well, I think you do, right?
Drill dozer is top priority.
I don't know how I would have seen it. You like AI? You have a folder, don't you, or some shit like that?
Do I?
I swear you
It
do.
wasn't
I don't
for
know
AI
how-
art. It was just for anything that appealed to me. Aesthetically. But yeah, recently there's been a lot of AI art, and I know that it is. I honestly, well, this is the thing. I can immediately tell. So I won't say it's perfect. Like I've never seen AI art that I didn't. I've known every single time, like immediately. Although I have seen some where it's like this AI art looks like 100% real, and I think, well, yeah, I think I agree actually. But you told me that it was AI art. That doesn't really help. But yeah, I almost don't like the fact that there is a lot of it that it's pretty good.
Yeah, but like even then, and obviously that is that, but like that is the beginning, right? Or it could be. That level of technology where it's getting very close to humans already in some specific scenarios. It could very well be like either the beginning of the curve, so it's only gonna get better and better and better from here on out, or it's like near the end, and like this is basically the peak as far as the technology can go. And his video was basically that he has no idea, and it scares him. It's like if this is early on, it's a handy tool. If it's midway, then it's if it's almost at the end, it's a handy tool. Because if it's almost at the peak of how good it can be, then it's not that good, but it's also not bad either. It'll be a handy thing for like artists to use, or like chat AI or whatever that is, to like help people write. Or
I hate the chat.
like it's
scary. My brother used.
He got it to write like a piece of code for him. I think.
Code. Oh fuck.
Yeah. It was a pretty simple bit of code, but it literally he basically said it was like talking to a person, in that it was just quite a simple like just like, hey, you did this wrong, and then it would change it and like sort it out.
I guess like part of it is like I feel like something that's I assume this is missing. I assume they still don't have this sort of in yet. That AI can't really understand the concept of imperfections, where it's never going to feel like a unique human being. Almost like at the moment, surely they're just stuck in a realm where they're just like template humans. Almost.
Yeah, they can like and he said the same thing basically. Like he told them the AI to give like very specific code. Like he laid out exactly
Can an AI
what
stutter?
he did to do.
Or flip up in spelling, pronunciation, even.
Probably not.
It should.
Pronunciation almost definitely.
Oh well, actually,
it's arbitrary.
That's different. Yeah, actually, pronunciation. That's
Yeah. But as far as like fucking spelling goes, I doubt it. Unless you fill it full of wrong spelling. Or like it gathers its data pool from a bunch of
Did you see
my
that?
writing or some
That
shit.
deep fake of Joe Biden declaring war on Russia.
I did not. Did that?
It was like
How
it's
well
now-
down did that go?
Like nuclear war gonna start between Russia and America.
That is. Oh, it's like,
a lot of people thought it was real because it is very realistic, and you know, some jackass or some, I don't know, even worse, an actual terror organization could
all it
start
would take
a war.
is. Yeah. If they deep fake both sides and enough people on any side believes it, that's like it. like that's like it, really, isn't it?
Although
like,
that being our downfall is pretty like great. I mean, it's
Yeah, well,
awful
that's
way
the
to go
thing,
out,
though.
but it's like ironic.
That's the thing. Right now,
The
it's
war
like
was started
just
by our
enough.
creation.
It's like just bad enough for people to be able to kind of catch it, right? But if there is still like another 10, 20, 50 years of immense technological growth in that department, it is very quickly going to surpass the point where humans can tell
Unless it's peaked.
and anything like that.
Unless it's peaked.
Yeah, it could literally right
gotta
now
hope
it
for
could be
it.
the best it ever will be, or it will be. This is literally like, and his example was like Snapster, right? That was like his thing where, because it was basically it was just downloading music for free.
Oh, Napster.
It was that. Oh, Napster, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a massive lawsuit with Metallica where he basically had it completely dismantled.
Yeah, which currently the art AI is getting in a bit of a legal issue. So he's basically symbolizing like putting that in that place, and how Napster was the beginning of music you don't have to pay for. Like music you always had to pay for, and then it completely changed, and now we have Spotify on that, right? And he's basically saying that this AI malarkey could be that again. It could literally just completely overhaul the status quo of existing, basically, and enjoying like art and writing and all that stuff, which is quite funny because at that point it seems like AI is going to take down the creative things first, which most people assumed would be the safe part.
because I couldn't like explain that in terms of why it didn't get to the other side first, but I sort of get the sense that was the most
It's still on the other
challenging,
side, it's just slower.
you know. I think it's because that was the most challenging thing to like get the AI to be able to do, or the most theoretically challenging. Where we thought, oh, no way it can like engage in like the creative fields, and then like like the AI people making these AIs were just like, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Just go down that rabbit hole because it seemed impossible. They just turned to that. That feels a bit too like human of a reason, where it's like, oh, we'll show you, we can make him do art, but I don't know. Maybe it's maybe not.
Because that's the thing is though, is that as it stands right now, all of those bots, they're not like technically creating themselves, right? That's the legal issue, is that the bots aren't just doing good art. People are kind of fine with
Prompting.
that. The bots are copying people's art. As in people are asking bots to say, hey, Van Gogh, give me one of his works, and the bot will just pump it out because he'll just copy all of them, goes up, master the art style in like less than a minute, and then pump out hundreds of thousands of things, and eventually one of them is going to be good. And that's what people are pissy fit about, because obviously Van Gogh is like, oh well, he's dead, but people are copying alive people's art style, stealing fucking business from them, because why would they come to the person when the AI can do it a lot quicker and a lot cheaper? So yeah, it's fucking wild, isn't it? It's so fucking funny, but not funny. It's horrific, but kind of funny.
It's definitely not funny, but it is pretty funny.
It's just like, this is it, man. I mean, like, obviously, machines since the Industrial Revolution have been taking over physical tasks, and then, like, I think within the last couple of years, they've really become like intelligence storage. Like, AI has been absolutely filled to the brim with like knowledge, right? Like, obviously, like Google and that it knows like everything. There was like the bot that was like a master of medicine. Some shit like that. Like it knew like all different types of. It just knew everything about like medicine. It was like the ultimate fucking.
The ultimate medicine.
Kill bot. It couldn't do anything. Like it was just like a hive mind, but still, it was like the ultimate doctor.
In theory, I guess.
But yeah, it was just that it
on a knowledge basis.
It knew every symptom and what every symptom meant in a way that humans would have to spend their entire lives dedicating themselves to, and they'd probably forget half of it by the end as well.
They doctors
didn't.
have to study so much. They have to know so much off by heart, especially surgeons. That shit is crazy. Like the amount of parts of the body that they know off by heart, and they have to.
Meanwhile, with the way this bot would work,
life-saving
they would just have to kind of talk to the bot for like an hour or two before the surgery, and they'll be just reminded on everything.
Yeah. But it's almost like, is that really like a bad thing? Having a robot perform surgery.
Yeah.
That seems like pretty useful. That's one of the things where you really don't want human errors, and that's something where like I don't think that makes the most sense to me. It's like kind of area that you would try and replace.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I saw a thing. It was like, and this is becoming more and more common. It seems that like people are doing surgery from like miles and miles and miles away.
Yeah.
Like wireless surgery is now entirely a thing, and that is like a bit. But like it's also just
what if there's
like
not power cut? I mean, what if there's like it's just a network issue?
Yeah, I know, but it does mean that like if you think about it, like. The technology and equipment is there, right? If they just like replaced the human with a bot that won't make a mistake, boom, right? That's it. Guaranteed successful surgeries from now on. Like 100% success rate in surgeries. Or maybe probably more like 90 or something. But even then, I think that's better than normal, right? Like that's the thing with cars, which I really like knowing that like auto driving cars, all they have to do is be better than people, and I think they already almost are that. Like it's really not that difficult to be better than people.
I think in concept people really won't accept self-driving cars unless they are 100% safe.
Perfect.
Yeah, because and I agree with that, because I think that's far more reasonable. And I think human errors are far more reasonable than robot errors. Like I always don't see the point.
Except in no way, shape, or form is though, right? Because a robot error will most likely come down to like a human fault beforehand, right? It comes like a robot error is the error of a human coding it, right? I think that's something you need to kind of like keep in mind.
I don't know. Just the idea of a robot causing car crashes is actually more horrific to me.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of mindset that I think we might not have in like 100 years.
If it's,
Like, it's a generational
if
thing.
it's perfect, I couldn't. And you know, driving is one of those things where you really couldn't really argue against it. Like, why should we be doing that manually? It doesn't, if we can do it not manually and have it be perfectly safe. Potentially, even if it gets that perfect, we could potentially just overall just increase the speeds at which cars move, and then transport just becomes easier and more efficient.
I mean, I think I'm still
That's worth
surprised.
investing in my opinion. Almost.
I think people talk about the cars and that, but like, surely trains should be automated like real soon, right?
Yeah, that should be like that shouldn't. I almost feel like trains.
I
I feel like it seems so simple that it must be some weird caveat where it's actually impossible for some reason. There's some wizardry going on where they can't handle it because it's like almost too basic.
I feel like because like quite a few of those kind of things already are kind of like, you know, like planes are like mostly on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's yeah. So like robots have still kind of taken over those more simplified hands-off type of transports, but it's just the fact that like, aren't train drivers like statistically incredibly likely to kill themselves? Like it is like an absolute huge fucking risk.
You don't mean suicide though? That's the bit.
No, yeah, no, I
To
do mean
get killed
suicide.
by the job.
No. Train drivers are just have an insanely high risk of suicide.
What? Well,
They
see,
spend
risk isn't the right word.
vast
Sorry,
majority
risk
of
isn't the
their
right
day
word. That means like,
just
they're at
on their
risk
own.
of suicide. That's not
Yeah, everyone's
not at
aware of
risk of it. It's not like a thing that
But
you
I'm
catch.
pretty sure that is a statistic.
Yeah, that. Ugh,
I'll look it up.
not very nice. When do they get co-pilots?
It's double the pay. Same amount of work.
Double the pay. Or just have them Zoom call their wife mandatorily to make sure they don't kill themselves. That might make it worse. Probably why they become a train driver, because they can be left alone. But then they realise. Train driver
I forgot
suicide
what's
rate.
Alright, yeah, that was it, thank you.
Hello, everyone. We're talking about train driver suicide.
Dozer, repair.
Train driver. Train driver. Train driver.
Peaceful suicide. Oh, I'm fitting it. That's not.
There's charging.
Oh my god.
Okay, for some reason, and I say for some reason, I don't think I'm getting my stats mixed up in that, but when you look up train driver suicide rates, all it talks about is train drivers that have witnessed suicides, which isn't that surprising.
No.
And apparently, like 18% of train drivers have like PTSD from watching a suicide that they couldn't do anything about.
Yeah. That makes sense. And that's why suicide is gay. Because there's always someone, it could even be the train driver, who's gonna
Yep.
get fucked up.
Don't be a prick.
We need to fix Loretta.
It's always a good way to get someone to not kill themselves, because they're probably going to kill themselves because they
No,
think
don't kill
they're
yourself, you're too cute.
they think they're like a drain on the people around them, because that's what depression tells you. It's like, hey, everyone around you would be much better off if you're dead, but know that it ain't true, and if you kill yourself, that is the case.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah. You killing yourself will make everyone you know and care about's life infinitely worse.
Drill
what we call
So guard it well.
karma? Not karma. Depends on if there's an afterlife or not.
Attention team, to keep the
It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy.
you need to keep it clear of bugs.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Incoming swarm.
Yeah.
Call that the IKEA instruction manual.
Take one team.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Get to work! There's bugs all over the dozer!
Oh, yeah, there's shelf. What do you call the Gleben thing? My favourite IKEA product has to be the big bear. The jungle skog.
The jungle skog?
Yeah.
The hell are you going on about?
It's you get it from IKEA. It's just a big bear.
Is it a mech suit or something?
No, it's just a big plushy bear.
Outer crust has been
Did you have to build it yourself?
defending the drill.
No, not build a bear.
Help me protect the dozer!
I've never been to an IKEA. Do we have IKEAs?
What do we do?
And why haven't I ever been to one here?
Because they're all far away.
Checkmate.
Pretty cool though. IKEA's pretty lit.
Loretta is purring like a kid.
They got all your favourite shows. Bill and Ted. Billy and Mandy. Bill and
Hey, what the fuck are you going on?
Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men.
What's with all the bills?
Bill,
Cypher.
Billy Bill Cipher from Family Guy.
Swarm detected. Keep the drill
Billy Jean,
at all costs.
not my
Is
lover.
not my lover.
We're 50% through.
She's just some girl
Still holding
that said that I am the one. But the kid is not myself.
That was my Billy Jean impression.
Thank you.
Inspired
Why
by the
hasn't there
late
been a
great
movie
Billie
about
Jean.
Michael Jackson?
There hasn't been a biopic, but there's been like a documentary movie.
Minus alert.
Because, you know, you got like.
Because no one wants to
the
play
Queen
Michael
one,
Jackson.
And.
I wouldn't
Yes.
want to play Michael Jackson.
Why not?
Grabbing ammo.
What do you mean, why not?
What do you mean, why not?
What? Why would any actor want to play Michael Jackson?
Because.
The drill
He's a
dozer
weirdo.
He's-
permanent damage. Remember, it's game over if it's destroyed.
Is,
So step
that is why there needs to be a movie about it.
I know, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense for actors either. Actors will play in one. Or there'll be actors who play it. There's always an actor for any role.
Plus, there's a fucking documentary on like serial killers
Yeah,
where an actor
documentary.
voluntarily.
100%. Almost
Sure. No,
Yes,
it's
I
not
did.
even
No,
doc-
totally. I have realised
the
I'm
thingy-
talking out my arse. Like any actor would play Michael Jackson. Actually, that's a great gig.
Yeah,
You know.
and technically two have, well not actors, the fucking community. The two of them dressed up as fucking Michael Jackson.
Michelle.
There's that. Well, one was Donald Glover, and he dressed up as pre-op.
we got a big
Yeah, and then you
approaching the
you
drill dozer.
do that.
Dog die trying.
And then there
Right.
was I don't know her name, but a white woman.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's exactly what you do for the film.
Yeah.
You get those two, and you switch halfway through. Perfect. The perfect man.
Donald Glover would actually be a really good cast though, because you know he's you can
Because
sing.
he's black
right?
and can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it real.
What would you prefer, a white guy that can't sing?
That would be hilarious. Yes.
Explosive. Fix it.
I think they should get Israfel to play Michael Jackson.
Guarding the drill dozer.
From Shadow is
Yeah, there was something they did on the Oxford once. They like fan casting for the Yost Cast movie, and there was all sorts of things like Prime Blessed as Honeydew and Rowan Atkinson as Death Force and these things. And then someone suggested, this was when they were doing it live on like this Swedish radio station. They had like live like comments coming in. They had a suggestion that Israfel should be played by the ghost of Michael Jackson. It's
They like it.
yeah, they did.
Go fetch.
Yeah, so like I enjoyed that.
We enjoyed that very much.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, come again. I've noticed on a stream in the morning, and it transitions during the stream from morning to, midday. It all feels like the morning.
Yeah.
It still feels like it could be 10 a.m. But it ain't. Well, yeah. PM stands for Prime Minister. AM stands for and Minister. I am.
You know who Am is, right?
Am? What?
Am.
What?
Honestly, your fucking book class sucks ass. You probably do know what I'm on about, in all fairness. Not that you would have learned it in your class. But that's the name of the robot in I Have No Mouse, but I'm at Scream. And you do know what that is, right? Right, Harry? You're being weirdly silent. What? Harry, what are you up to? What's with the silence? Harry! What's wrong, Harry?
Never heard of it.
No.
No.
Even though it was the pioneer in that technology would bring doom as like a book idea. It was like the first ever book that was like, maybe technology might kind of fuck us up. Well, it is, fair enough. I only really know it because of random fucking videos.
Okay.
Like I read it or anything.
Read it? Of course you haven't read it.
No. But yeah, it literally is that basically. I'll give you a rundown. During the Cold War, I think America, Soviets, and Germany, they all started specking into fucking making an AI. And it got to the point where like it took over like all the skies, like the entire plane of the Earth was its technology and like its wiring and that. And eventually they met, and it all kind of just congealed into one AI being. And then it like immediately fucking killed all humanity, except like five people. Which it proceeds to like torment for like eternity.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Be lit.
Yeah.
Hype.
And it's pretty cool because it's not cool. It's like hopeless. And that's like the whole thing. Is that humans didn't stand a chance in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, in the end, humanity technically did win. Because of a reason that, if you were in any way, do you actually want to like read it or look it up or something? 'Cause
I
can't
have.
tell
That's
you
how
the
I
ending.
found out that I didn't know it was a thing.
Right.
I guess this is where I have no balls and I must come comes from.
Probably. Bit of a weird. No,
I have no urethra and I must come. Sorry for anyone who just joined. I was describing I have no mouth and I must scream, which I haven't. I think I've heard
A previous crew
those words.
mules that drop pod and the
You probably have.
in this cave. Find and repair the lost mules.
But as mentioned, it's pretty
Return to
famous.
base. Expect heavy infestation and try not to mess it up like your former.
At least to
No,
anyone
no,
that
thing.
likes that kind
Right,
of
I'm
thing.
sending a goat seed up. Drop pod. I don't see. It's rising. Oh, what's gonna happen? That's just gonna fall back down. Oh my god! Oh my god! It landed in a drop pod hole and then it had so much momentum that it bounced out. That's what I'm talking about.
You need a sandwich. Is that a chicken sandwich?
Chicken.
Is it actually good?
No.
Precious minerals. It will
We had
get
KFC last night, and we didn't eat most of it. So we put some in the
Sunday.
fridge, and Mitchell just reheated it. Yeah, well, we were gonna have a roast,
It's
but
supposed to have
but-
terrible, fucking awful food.
we were gonna have a roast, but then Mum had to like work all day, a lot longer than she thought she would. So she couldn't be asked to dinner. So we had KFC.
I feel like it wouldn't have made much of a difference. Would it have on a Sunday though? As in, I feel like is that one of the exceptions? But maybe she would actually.
Oh, Sunday it would have been like a full-on roast.
Okay.
Roast dinner that would take like 5 hours and be a bunch of effort.
What do you mean, monkey? We're not married.
Where is that dead?
Wait, what do you mean happy anniversary? Hold on, have I missed something? Your
Probably the
videos.
anniversary of the game, right?
No, he said happy anniversary of your marriage. We didn't
Oh.
miss that. Reapy Ron did. I mean, he did.
Or he missed our anniversary.
Yeah.
The fucking bastard, how dare he? Yeah,
Twerk.
oh, right, he's probably referring to when I made the channel, maybe.
No.
No?
What? How could it be that?
I don't know. Because I know that our first video was posted on the first day of the year. Because that's when I...
But it's the
did it.
6th of March.
Exactly. That's why it's not an anniversary of our first video.
No. The anniversary of the podcast is on the 28th.
You got that remembered, or are you just looking at it right now?
I'm looking at it right now because I'm making sure that's not what he was referring to. I don't. Is that first? Will that be a Thursday? I suppose is the question.
Probably
Yeah,
not,
no,
right?
it's a Tuesday actually.
If it was the Thursday, if it was a Thursday last time, it's not often the same day the next year. Like your birthdays always cycle through, don't they? Was this a leap year?
I don't know.
Alright. That is a tolerable answer. I will allow it.
I was gonna look for something and I've forgotten what it was. Oh
Your
yeah.
balls.
No.
Alright, then what is it? Spit it out. Come on, spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. Come on, spit it out.
watched John Wick
One.
Chapter 4. Oh, it's
I saw the
27th
trailer
of
for
May. 27th. I thought it was this month.
I think John Wick's another one of those things which is too popular for me to want to watch.
It's not. Well, the character is more well known than the movies are popular.
Yes. Either way, though.
Yeah. Schmuck.
Plus, I don't know.
Well, I just mean it's not
that into
it's,
action movies. At least that are just action. I like Kingsman because it's action
is that? Yeah.
comedy. But really, it just needs to have a bit of comedy in it. Really. If it takes itself too seriously, I can't take it too seriously. Which is a tad ironic, but hey ho. Hey ho.
Yeah, that doesn't make a great deal of sense. I think there's a bit of self-awareness in John Wick. There's always a bit of levity, you know, sort of little funny moments sprinkled throughout, but they're sort of more subtle. That's sometimes I prefer.
So I watched something that I could already assume was very much like John Wick, and it was like a retired, assassin or whatever. But then they were like, he's too good, so we have to put him down. And then they did, or they tried to, but they hurt the wrong person, and then movie occurs.
Yeah, it does a pretty interesting thing, which is it just does a trope, but it's just so good that it doesn't matter. It's just like, we're just going to take this and run with it. What we're actually going to do is we're just going to actually really give a shit and actually try.
They just have to make sure that
it's just
every
quality.
Fucking fight scene is like S tier.
Really, the world is pretty interesting as well.
Yeah.
The world itself actually is pretty unique, sort of like cool world building, despite being sort of meant to be quite realistic. It's not really. Pretty weird, actually.
Is it like a world where there's just assassins and that's just like a part of the world?
Yeah,
Legitimate like organization.
Huge, like underground, like multiple organizations, just a huge underground world that's operating, like almost within broad daylight and also not, but also completely behind the scenes. And there's just a lot of elements to it. There's like this guy, and they have this they call it the High Table, which sort of just governs all rules in regards to, I guess, I don't know what the overall organisation is called. I don't believe it has a name. I guess it's just mercenaries in general. And then there's this guy who's like the one above the High Table. It's like the Elder, and he like lives in the middle of the Sahara. And to find him, you have to like walk until you're like almost dead, and then like keep walking, and then you'll like pass out, and then he'll just find you. And then John Wick has to like cut his finger off or something.
I'm glad we have someone to carry our rocks and stone.
Goofy, yeah.
And it's just very high quality of like production and acting, and actually just very creative action sequences. So it just gets it right. It basically just it's like it's not like the most. Well, actually, I really like the first one. I think it's actually pretty fantastic. But it's more like it's just good and
I heard that
it
one
just
wasn't
does this.
as much though.
No, it's bullshit. It's the best one easily. But it's like it could be less generic, but it almost just does this type of film just so well that it doesn't leave room for anyone else. As in, it makes it seem like it's probably worse than it is, because it is quite similar to other films, but it's more like it's the only good one than anything else. And but it's actually very good, and everything else is sort of just trying to follow in its footsteps and doesn't do it successfully. Except that one with Saul Goodman. Was that the one you watched by any chance? Nobody.
No. It was I think I actually I could. His name is like proper foreign. I think he's like Scandinavian
Oh.
of some sort. I
Mads
think he played a
Mikkelsen.
villain in Bond.
Mads
Yeah, I think it
Mikkelsen.
might be him. Yeah.
Mads Nicholson. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, John Wick's great, and it has become more about the world, actually, because the world is actually interesting. It's not a bog standard world, there's like some guy in it. It starts off that way, that's why I think the first one is actually the least
Everything
favourable
looks
for
good.
me.
You can begin cracking open that,
It doesn't really delve into
thing
like
at your
the
convenience.
things that make the world interesting. But it does actually have that on its side. Like, it's not a generic setting. Look at these idiots. They're all gonna die in 5 seconds.
Behind something. Where's the prey?
Yeah, but every sort of like middle-aged actor ends up doing something like that. Like all Liam Neeson does, I think. They're all pretty like mid.
Consider
You get like what he was saying that?
legally
What?
speaking, rocking
Is that a take people will allow nowadays?
jackhammer
I think so.
Tracking commencing. Stay alert.
I'd say Liam Neeson's mid.
Attract unwanted attention.
I think he's pretty fucking cool.
He's cool considering his name's Liam.
Okay.
Starts with an L, dude.
You need those assets active to track them
What?
down. Keep them safe.
What's like a good name that starts with W? Wensless.
Wario.
Wario!
Boom. You never stood a chance.
Winston.
Morris. Oh wait, that's Morris.
Warris. I mean Warren.
All that, yeah.
Ward.
Clear out whatever's back from that
Wichita. Woodchuck.
Wood chipper.
going to take forever if you don't keep all hammers operational. Restart any jam parts.
Wagamama.
Wombo.
Wombo cut. First name Wombo. First name also cut.
Last name Deep Brook Galactic Heroes.
Last name,
that would
last
be
name
our
open
adopted
bracket,
child.
Deep Brook Galactic, close bracket.
Yeah. I don't know why you always put that there, but at this point I'm afraid to
I
ask.
don't know if you're meant to or not. It feels right though. It means I don't have to put it in the title.
Yeah.
Even though it
Yes.
is. But you know, it's like bracketed, which means it's not.
Rockpox meteor has been cracked. Remember to deposit the sample
Okay.
behind inside.
This fucking stupid ass menace. You dumb hoe. Bleed. Bleed and fall asleep.
Where is that?
Oh yeah.
Ah, gobble snarks.
Did you see there was some
Yes.
goofy alright.
What? No, no. Don't stop.
You said yes, so it's
I'm
not I
being
don't need
silly.
Oh there was some goofy movement utility
Oh yeah,
traversal.
I did see that. Yeah, pretty funny. I like me. Did you see the second one? You did two. Lots.
Oh I know.
There was the donut platforms, which I
What, they
think
just
is
have a
actually
hole
not.
in the middle.
No, but they're like a lot wider. It's like I guess it's all pushed outwards. I guess and there's a hole in the middle. I think it's genuinely funny, but I'm not a bad idea. Obviously, you can make donut, obviously, like very easily, obviously. But
I like how much he endorsed violence. It's so often those things just actively were like fuck your teammates. Like, one of them literally, like, it was
I
just
don't know
like
what I'm doing
your
to
teammates are slowed down on it, and that was just it. That's what it fucking did. I don't think it even slowed down if it's just fucking.
Oh god, your voice got very
Waving.
shrill note there. It's like a whistle in your vocals. Hurt my ears greatly. Take it back,
You're
please.
welcome. Can I throw it back?
No! No!
Do be. This is my throw it back
Tyler
song.
is currently
Dun-a-ba-ba-na,
Find it.
da-da-ba-na, da-da-ba-na,
What?
dee-dee-dee. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow!
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wee wah. Wow, wow, wee wah.
Wow, wow, wee.
I'm currently being assailed by many menaces.
Bee-ba-boo, ba-bee.
Ubapo, upapi, no ñaño.
Chupapi, moñaño. Chupapi, moñaño.
Manual.
It's not
Imagine
got
being the
quite
guy
right
who
amount of
makes like the
syllables.
original like Virgin Chad like illustrations.
What?
Like the Chad, like the memes, like the blonde like bearded man.
Right, yeah, that guy.
Imagine being the guy who drew that.
You'd feel pretty famous. Even though no one would know you or who you are or what you even do, you'd
He
feel
could never
famous.
like he could never no, he probably feels terrible because like he could never like convince anyone.
The thing is, it's kind of the same with quite a few of those things, though. Like, I think most of them come from like 4chan as well.
Well, I know,
Like,
I
most
mean,
of
I
the
feel like
reaction
that's probably one of
faces.
the most famous like iconic illustrations. It's like the
I
modern
think
day.
it really isn't though. But yeah, but no. Like
Troll
I think,
Face. It's like on a similar tier.
Trollface, Pepe, and all that. That like, is like beyond internet zeitgeist. But like, if I showed my mum like the Chad face, it wouldn't mean anything to her. But
Well,
if
no,
I showed her
it
like
might-
Pepe and
Yeah,
the
but they've been
troll
around
face, she'd
longer.
know. Exactly. I don't think it's not at that
Like,
level yet.
yeah,
and
not yet.
I'm not sure it will ever be.
Yeah.
I don't think it has breached through the because that whole Chad thing isn't really that universal yet.
We gotta locate and destroy
It's going to start being that way, considering it's starting to become less like actually favoured,
when I'm
I
done
suppose.
working for DRG.
We're sort of moving away from that, especially because of all the stigma mail stuff. Where it's going
Yeah.
to become less popular, and that's what will make it more I don't know, universal.
Guy at the office.
Not know quite how it works, but I feel like Pepe's become more recognisable after becoming less of a meme. Kind of weird. Same with Trollface. The Trollface was never like whatever Pepe was, which was like Nazi propaganda or something. Or some of the people they tried to make it that. Someone did. I don't know if that was like neo-Nazis tried to claim Pepe or other people tried to claim.
The guy that drew it just drew a funny frog. I'm pretty sure that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he just continued to do that. But it did obviously turn into a lot more than that.
That'd be
But then again, it
some-
was also a thing that like 4chan, it had like both sides which played like against each other but did the same goal. Like there were radical, rightists, like, Nazis that legitimately tried turning things into Nazi propaganda and that. And then there was the side of 4chan that would like to troll the left by turning random things that aren't anything to do with it into Nazi propaganda.
naked guards.
Like, do you remember the OK symbol, and how that
Yes.
was turned into
White power.
That was a 4chan troll. In no universe did that mean that, and the people that wanted it to mean that want that. It was just trolls that convinced the news. Like, they didn't have to convince people; they had to convince the news, which was very easy to do. And then the news convinced the people.
Yeah.
Move your Send Astro over here and hurry, please.
Yep. Basically. Sorry, it's just this build I've got on the Sludge Pump. It's like stays on enemies for long enough, does enough damage for long enough where it still won't actually kill a guard in one shot, but it will 100% strip them of their armor. There's like 4 like just bare ass guards just bumbling around, and it was actually really fucking funny. Oh god, Grandpa says left wing people tried to accuse right wing people of using Pepe as a symbol, but they weren't, minus a small handful of far rights that adopted it after the accusation. Yeah, they did actually. That's the thing. They did actually adopt it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, why wouldn't they at that point? I mean, you give them a symbol as strong as Pepe that represents their cause. Why wouldn't they just take it? I mean,
Yeah.
it's never been easier. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Here, take this Pepe. Oh my god! Got him. Only a spoonful. Classic blunder. Why is that Guntsy constantly like jiggling?
These bugs don't
Da-da-da,
stand a chance.
da-da-da, da-da-da. Still haven't watched that Skyrim review. The long one.
Right. I watched it like the week it came out.
Yeah, I didn't. This is
I mean, it wasn't anything that special. Just said all the things that you likely know already.
Thanks, Bosco.
can't reach it. This is fucking ass, man. I got no rhythm. I'm definitely gonna die in this place. There's bad thing coming for me. They're on my ass. They're in my face. They got teeth as sharp as razors, and they're gonna eat my balls for breakfast. And I gotta run, I gotta run, I gotta run. Run away. Yeah. Or glory. Or glory in death. No.
Surgery.
Run
Run for
Run.
cover.
What do you want? Ooh.
Crap. Do I still got all my limbs?
dancing queen. Ah!
Oh yeah, you can dance, you can dance, having the time of your life. What the hell?
Fucking hell. I just guess most words.
Cleared warm-up. Time to get to work.
And I clearly got it wrong twice there.
You can dance, you can dance. I've got to go.
Bye, Harry. And everyone.
Hey, good night.
Good afternoon.